Now let's take the concept of increasing and decreasing values one step further. Let's create a new folder and call it Move with Buttons. Let's create a new scene with the node of type node as the root node of the scene. Call it Move with Buttons. Now we are going to save it inside of the corresponding folder. And for this one, we are going to add 2 buttons. You can just duplicate this one by using the shortcut duplicate. We will call it Move Left btn and Move Right btn. We can select both of them, scroll down to Theme Overrides, to go to font size and make it 100 for each. Let's type in a text, move left and move right, and let's position them somewhere down here, just so that they are inside of this viewport rectangle. Check it by run the current scene. Yeah, this is okay. Now we need a sprite node. This is what we will move inside of this project. And we can just drag and drop this texture to the texture property, the Godot icon. Let's call it player for now and move it somewhere in the middle. Now let's attach a script to the root node of the scene and figure out what is the actual plan. The plan is to move this Godot icon or the player to the left one step whenever we click this button, and move the player one step to the right whenever we click this button. So by now we know we need the pressed signal from the buttons. So let's connect them by going to the node tab right here, selecting the signals tab and go to pressed, connected to the Move with Buttons root node of the scene. Do the same thing for the other button as well. And now before we do something, we just print it out to check if it is working. Let's make it right, print, left. So just so that we know what's going on and if those signals are actually working. Right, whenever I press right appears, so yeah, this signal is working. Move left, also working. We get the output left, the string left, whenever we click this button. So perfectly fine, our signals are working. So now let's see how we can move something inside of the Godot game engine. Let's select the player, use the move tool, go to the Node 2D tab and watch what the position property does when we move this player. When we move the player to the right, the X value increases, and when we move the player to the left, the X value decreases. So we do not care for the Y value right now, only focus on the X value because we only want him to move left or right. So this is very valuable knowledge that we can get right here. So in order to move this to the left or to the right, we kinda just can increase the X value of this position property. So let's figure out how we can do this. As our script lives on the root node of this scene, we need to access the child scenes by using the $sign and type the corresponding name. We want to select the player, and to access properties inside of this player node, we need to use the dot operator and select the property we want. We need to type lowercase position to select this property, position. And now we need to know that a vector2 type has 2 components, an X component and a Y component. And to only select one of them, we can use the dot operator again and select the corresponding value. So we want the X value of this vector2. Before we do anything with it, we just print it out. Print, and let's see what this shows us. It shows us the number 688, the exact value we see in the inspector. Okay, so we are right. We have selected the correct property value. And now we want to change it. Not only change, we want to increase it, because we can start to change it. Let's do this for a moment. Let's set this to, let's say, 200. When we press the right button, we set it to 200. Let's see what this does. The player jumps immediately to the position 200. And whenever we click again, this line is fired again and again, but as we are already on the spot, we don't see any movement. We don't want to do this. We want to increase it. And as you can remember, this is very simple. We use the shorthand plus equals. Let's just type a value of, let's say, 10. So whenever we click the button, we increase the position X value of the player by 10. And here we go. Let's do the same thing for the move left button as well. Just copy it, Command C, I have selected it, Command C and Command V. Instead of increasing it, we decrease it, subtracting from this value. Let's check this out. Move left, moves the player left, 10 pixels to the left every time we click. Move right, moves this sprite 10 pixels to the right every time I click on this button. And as a last step, what if I want to change the step size right here now? I had to go in and change it for both signals, for both buttons. If we were to want to change it to make the steps bigger, we have to do this. Type 40 here, type 40 here. And now the steps are bigger, making it move a little bit faster. To optimize this situation, we can use a variable for this and call it step size, for example. Make it a floating point value, and set it to 10, let's say by default, and then replace those values with this variable, step size. Do it here again, step size. And whenever we want to change this value from now on, we just have to change it on one place and not on those two places. So this is now just a placeholder for the step size. This is how we use variables in programming to prevent to repeat ourselves again and again. So let's do the step size of 50 now. Check it out. It works fine. And if we think no, 50 is too much, let's do 5. No problem. We just change this one value and we can immediately change the step size without even needing to step inside of the code. We can even optimize this one step further by exporting this with the add_export annotation. And from now on, we can see the step size inside of the inspector. So we do not even need to go into the code anymore. We can just change it in the inspector. Yeah, that's it for this experiment right here. If you have managed to replicate this without any errors, I'm really proud of you. If you really want to learn this, try to replicate it from memory without peeking. Yeah, if you can do this and understand what's going on, you are good to go.